What did the family do on the first day of their holiday? As soon as they got there, what did they do?
On the first day, they go to the beach.
They went to the beach.
The
Yeah.
storyteller did lots of surfing. Mom and Dad read their books. People was building a really big sandcastle.
Mm-hmm.
In the evening, Mom and Dad cooked supper.
Whoa. The question was, what was the first thing they did?
Okay.
I could have you just tell me the whole story. I used to do the test that way, actually. You want to just tell me the whole story and we'll see how that goes? So I try something different?
No.
No. Yeah, sometimes it's too hard to remember everything. All right, how's little Lily today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm very good, thank you. Just did aliens test. I see you got a little fan on you.
Yeah.
Your hair is dancing on one side. Where's your sister hiding?
She's downstairs playing games.
And your little brother too?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have dinner already?
Of course, yeah.
Of course. It wasn't fried chicken, I hope.
No, just rice and some meat.
Okay. When was the last time you had fried chicken?
It's about 2 months ago.
2 months ago? The last time you had fried chicken?
Yeah.
You got to learn how to make it at home. All right, let's do our Interest 15 test. Speaking test. Part 1. Okay, so topic 1, homeschooling. Now, this is kind of easy for us because we've all had we do some online schooling, and almost all the kids have done some homeschooling from their state schools too because of the COVID time period. So do you like the idea of homeschooling? Now we're talking about all your main courses, like your everyday courses. Do you like that kind of online schooling like the boy in our lesson did?
No. In my opinion, homeschooling is quite boring because students can't play with friends. It's focused on the computer or phone screen. That's all.
Yeah, I when it comes to your full-time schooling, I kind of agree that especially the social aspect of it can be very can be rough if you're in your house all day having to do your school and you don't get to go play with your friends at all. There's a big benefit of schooling is the social aspect of it, for sure. So you did do some homeschooling for a while. I know there were some things you liked about it because you didn't have to get up so early.
Yeah, I have more time to relax and play some video games with my friends.
Which is not good. Not good.
It's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
For a match.
So describe how school is different in the state schools. So now you went back to school. What's the big differences?
Again, please.
Well, you did homeschooling for a while, and then you went back to school. So how is it different?
While at state school, I can play with friends. Some games like hide and seek or just blind man blocks. I love to play games with friends. And then the teacher teach with some pictures, and I can focus on the teacher's sentence, so I can know more about the lesson.
Okay. Yeah, again, the social part is a big part of it. Now, like I did teach some state school online in Jakarta during COVID. In the mornings, I was doing some state school work, and it was brutal. It was very difficult to work with 30 students in a classroom. I don't think it's possible to be effective to teach state school online. I really don't think that works well at all. But my question here now, I kind of got a little off track. At our school here, we always have small classes, right? Maximum is usually 6 or 7 students in the classroom. Do you still find it easier to follow the teacher at state school with all those students in there, or do you find a class like ours easier to follow? Well, I'm talking about just dealing with the teacher.
I think on state school, I think in state school,
It's still better with the teacher in state school.
yeah.
Okay. What do you think about online education? Is it all bad, or is there some good about online education?
Of course, there are some disadvantages and there are some advantages. For advantages, we have more time to sleep. Some of the talkative students won't talk or chat because the hosts have mute or enable chats. The teachers have more images and music to let the students understand more clearly about the lessons. And
This is on site or online?
online.
More pictures, more videos, and okay.
For disadvantages, online classes may be boring because some teachers teach with no pictures or no illustrations. There are much time to see on the phone or laptop screen, and it's not as effective as offline school. The students will say, "I don't have a microphone," or I can't open the camera to eat and sleep in class."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why we have pretty strict rules about not muting and having the camera on. Yeah, that's something that, because we do both, we have online school and on-site school here. But that's the one thing that we've really focused on, is that if we're going to do online classes like this, there has to be a lot of imagery. There has to be a lot of videos and a lot of visual effects to keep people interested. Absolutely. It works good for conversation and vocabulary for sure. Yeah. I do enjoy the online classes more than the on-site classes, though, now, for myself. But that's me. Topic 2. Now, topic 2, we're going to talk about, well, based on treasures again, because we had our little treasure hunter lesson. So the first question is, do you think being a treasure hunter would be cool?
No, I don't like dangerous situations or has bitten by a lion. It's may very dangerous when climbing on the mountain or climbing on the cliff. Really dangerous.
Why would you be looking for a treasure in a mountain?
I think there are more treasures in the mountain.
Think there's more in the mountain than the oceans?
Oceans?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there are sharks and dangerous fish under the ocean.
So because of the danger aspect, no. What about just walking around with the metal detector on the beach with a sun hat and a pina colada?
I'm scared of some people will stand and steal the treasure.
Ah, so if you find the treasure on the beach, you're scared someone will find it, steal it from you.
Yeah. And there's
Oh.
many man-made beach too. There are no treasures.
On the man-made beaches, probably not. I remember a report a while back. This is many, many years ago, actually, that they estimate just from like the records history, the books about ships that sunk, and especially during the colonizing years in South America and Americas, worth of treasure that has sunk in the oceans that has not been found yet.
Yeah, but really dangerous. The
Well,
ocean are really deep.
that's right. So you need to have submarines, and you have to have divers, and you have to have all kinds of equipment to go searching for those treasures. It would be very dangerous for sure. And there's lots of treasures on land that haven't been found yet either. There's one, I think it's called Skull Island. Maybe I got that wrong, but it's not far from where I grew up. I never went to the island, but legend has it that there is a treasure there, and many people have come trying to dig to find it, but most people have gotten injured or killed trying to find it, because as they dig deeper into the island, the water starts coming in on the sides, and whoever buried it there buried it so well that they could never get it back. That is true. And mountains, I'm sure you're right. There probably are some pirates and different things that hid treasures up in the mountains. What would you do if you actually accidentally found a treasure? Like, remember the story we had? He was looking for treasure, but he found it out in the farmer's field. So somebody else could find it. What if you accidentally found a treasure? What would you do?
It is allowed to keep the treasure?
Well, actually, that's why I ask you what you would do, because most countries, as far as I know, you cannot keep the treasure. You have to give it to the government. The governments usually say that it's part of the national history or culture, and therefore it needs to go like in a museum or something like that. But what they usually do is they give you compensation, right? It like the story of the guy who found it in England, right? He couldn't keep the treasure for himself. He had to give it to the government, but the government did give him a few $1 million, him and the landowner where they found the treasure. And I think it's like that in Canada and America too. And Indonesia, I had a friend. I haven't seen him in a long time. His name was Fred. They actually have a documentary on him in the National Geographic TV show. And he was a professional treasure hunter. He was a diver, and he was a treasure hunter. And they would look at old ship records of missing ships, and they tried to figure out where the ships sunk and find their locations. And they did. They found a treasure in the Java Sea, in the waters near Indonesia, and that's what happened. He got some money, but the government took the treasure, of course.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it illegal to keep it a secret?
Illegal. I think so. I mean, if you don't tell anybody, then nobody knows. So they only find out if you tell someone, of course, or someone tells somebody. But there's another story I was telling Alien about a guy in America, a treasure hunter. And apparently he found one of the lost Spanish treasure ships that sunk somewhere in the Caribbean. And it's been a long time since I've seen the story, but I think what he did is he took some coins and took a few things with him when he found it and came back to land. But then they found out that he found this treasure, this so-called treasure, and the authorities said, "Where is it?" And he wouldn't tell them. He didn't want to. The story is that he didn't want to tell them because he figured eventually they put him in jail because he won't tell them where the treasure is. And somehow he figures that when he gets out, he'll be able to go get the treasure. But I don't know what he's going to do with it. What are you going to do? You're going to go with a 500-year-old Spanish bullions or whatever they are and sell it somewhere? Like, they're going to know.
Sell it to the museum.
Exactly. But it can't do it in America. So I think if they know there's a treasure and you won't tell them, then yeah, they might put you in jail until you tell them where it is. Yeah, they claim it. You can't keep it, so you pretty much have to report it. But like I said, in most cases, from what I understand, they do give you money for finding it, so you still win, and you get credit for finding a treasure. So that's cool. Kind of build up your social network. Okay, so we didn't get quite an answer out of that question. Just you asking me questions. All right, so let's say you did find that treasure in your backyard, and you did turn it into the authorities, and they give you $1 million. What would you do if you were a millionaire now?
Build a villa in Halong, and then go to another country with my mom and my dad. Of course.
I knew traveling would be in there. So you'd do some traveling for sure. And you'd build a villa in Halong. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll have that when you grow up. Yeah, absolutely. You'll have a beautiful place to live. What about university and stuff? Would you, if you could afford it now, would you go study in another country?
Yeah, maybe. For a better future.
Yeah. Well, land is always a good investment. Buying land, and then that way you can build a home. It's hard if you're just renting all the time because you're just wasting money. Yeah. Good. Education and land is good. All right, let's go to our reading comprehension. Yeah, sounds like they had a pretty rough holiday. Did you ever have a rough holiday before?
No, all of my holidays were really great.
Okay, we'll talk about your last holiday in the last question. Yeah, so Elena, I think it is. Elena, telling the story of her experience on a family holiday. All right, so they rented an apartment on a beach. Yeah, there we go. Rented an apartment for a week on a beach. What did the family do on the first day of their holiday? As soon as they got there, what did they do?
On the first day, they go to the beach.
They went to the beach.
The storyteller did lots of surfing. Mom and Dad read their books. People was building a really big sandcastle.
Mm-hmm.
In the evening, Mom and Dad cooked supper.
Whoa. The question was, what was the first thing they did?
Okay.
I could have you just tell me the whole story. I used to do the test that way, actually. You want to just tell me the whole story and we'll see how that goes? So I try something different?
No.
No. Yeah, sometimes it's too hard to remember everything. All right, so yeah, now you were talking about in the evening. So what happened on the first evening?
There was no electricity in the apartment. They need to eat supper in the dark.
What was she doing when the electricity went out, when they had a power outage?
They need to eat supper in the dark.
What was Elena doing when the power went out?
She is chatting to her friends on the internet.
She is talking to her friends?
Chatting.
She is right now?
She chats to her friends on the internet.
She chats is still present simple.
She chatted.
She chatted, or she was chatting. You could use past continuous too, right? Because the question was, and you'll get this trick a lot on your tests when you get to higher levels. I don't know when it starts, but I remember these. I don't remember them myself, but I remember teaching materials that once you get a little higher up, one of the tricks they'll do is the question was, what was she doing? Right. So the question is in the past continuous, right? Because something happens, right? We only use the past continuous when we want to give details before something happens. So what happened? The electricity went out. So if you're answering that question, you have to say, she was chatting with her friends when something happened. The power went out. Just a little note, because you're going to get that trick on some of your tests in the future. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what she was doing. She was chatting with her friends when the power went out. So, okay, they call this bad luck, but I think this is just life. I don't think it's bad luck. What bad luck did they experience the very next day?
When they go shopping, the dark clouds came over and started to rain really hard.
Yeah. Were they shopping in a mall?
Shopping in the market.
Yeah, they were. They must have been in an outdoor market somewhere. Yeah. But I mean, you go on a holiday, it doesn't matter where you go. You can't control the weather. What should they have done? You can't really complain because it started to rain. What would you have done? Well,
again, please,
they say that it's bad luck that it started to rain while they were shopping. But I'm thinking, you can't control the weather. It could start raining right now. That's life. I mean, sure, if you went to a beach resort and your whole idea was to surf and play on the beach and fish, and that's why you took this week holiday and it rained every day, well, that would be bad luck. But just because it rained while they were shopping, I don't think that's bad luck. What would you have done if you were in the market with your family and it started to rain? What would you do?
I will take the umbrella, of course. I always bring umbrella when going somewhere.
Actually, that's a silly question for Vietnamese because you guys use umbrellas even when it's sunny.
Yeah.
I would imagine per capita, Vietnamese people carry more umbrellas than anybody else in any other country. I forgot about that. So who cares if it rains for the Vietnamese? They always have an umbrella with them. But Alien had a good answer. Alien said he would just go buy. He's in the market. He'd just go buy an umbrella.
But it wastes money.
But you're there. Yeah, true. But that's not considered bad luck, I don't think. All right. So later, they got home and something happened. Why did Pavel have to sleep with his sister for the rest of the holiday?
Because the rain comes into Pavel's room.
How do you think the rain got in his room? Because they say his bed was so wet that he couldn't sleep in the bed the whole time they were there. Why do you think? How do you think that could have happened? Think there's a big hole in the roof?
Maybe. Or the roof is really bad or really old.
And leaky, very big, bad leaks. What's the logical explanation? What do you think might have happened? Let's say the roof is fine.
Because Pavel's wet and he sleep or sit on the bed.
No, they got home and the bed was soaked. It was full of water.
Because the weather is humid.
Are you in your bedroom now?
No, not my bedroom.
Someone's bedroom?
My mother's bedroom.
Okay, where's the window?
In front of my face.
Oh, I can see it in your glasses. Okay, so the window's right there. So imagine if Mom put the bed next to the window. And it's a beautiful sunny day, so she leaves the window open, and you guys go get some fried chicken. What could happen?
the rain coming too.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking probably happened. That a lot of beds, some people like to have it right next to the window or even right behind the bed, right? Get the sunlight in with the curtains. And because it was a beautiful sunny day when they left. So maybe they left the windows open to let the air come through. And then when they were at the market, it started raining. It's like, oh no. But the wind was blowing the rain into the window and all over the bed. So that's a possibility.
I think the mom is a little bit silly because when on the first floor, the thief can come into and took all of the money.
Well, that's true too, but they say an apartment, so maybe it was the 4th or 5th floor. It doesn't say what floor. So it just says an apartment, right? So if there's an apartment, that means there's many apartments. Who knows? We don't see the picture.
But when in every floor, we need to close the window to be safe.
Yeah. Because even when you look at the picture, you see the water pouring onto the bed, but you don't see where the water's coming from. It looks like it's coming from the ceiling. Yeah. Bad landlords don't want to stay there. So, and again, in an apartment, and all of a sudden, Dad shouts in the kitchen. Why did Dad shout in the kitchen?
Because there are a family of mice in the cupboard under the sink.
Under the sink. Yes, indeed. What would you do if you went and opened the cupboards under the sink and you had a whole family of rats down there?
First of all, I will shout, and then I will use a broom or something to chase it.
Chase them out the door. That's what I do when a mouse gets in the house. Just get the broom and shoo him out. All right, so last question. You said you've had lots of great holidays. What did you do on your last holiday? So tell me where you went, when you went, and what things did you do?
Last holiday, I went to my cousin's house.
Oh, in Hazung.
Yeah, in Hazung.
So what did you do? What was fun about it?
I went to the pool, went to Chuvanand's temple. Yeah, went to Chuvanand's temple. I go to the square to fly the kite, ate ice cream, and bought a lot of books.
You bought a lot of books about what?
Yeah.
What kind of books did you buy?
Like sketchbook to draw, and some English books and mathematics books.
You like mathematics, don't you?
No.
No, you don't like mathematics?
It made me had a headache.
It gave you a headache. If you get a headache from something, you say, it gave me a headache, right? Meaning the math gave you the headache. That's how you say that.
Yeah.
It didn't make a headache. It gave you a headache. Yeah. All right. It's all really good. Just some of the verbs again, but it's even Miss Lay. Once you start speaking and you're having conversation, it's sometimes you still translate in your head, and then the verbs sometimes get missed, putting them in the right tense. That just takes time, and that's why we try to do as much speaking and listening in the class. I try to talk a lot. I don't usually talk as much as I do in our classes, but I do that on purpose so you guys get more and more and more exposure to the language, so it helps you become more fluent. But again, it's a very good test. You always do very well in your English. Keep it up, and you'll be a very fluent speaker in the future. So I'll see you and Paris. I'll see Paris on the weekend. I'll see you next week. Interest 16. Bye-bye, Lily.
Goodbye.